Today on People Now, new surveillance video has been released in the mysterious abduction case of Sherry Papini.
Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez have been playing with our hearts lately. Are they officially back on yet? We have the inside scoop from a source close to the Biebs.
Plus, how are Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn managing in the wave of attention following T Swift's new music?
And this week's People cover story, it's been 70 years since the royal wedding of the century. We're taking you behind palace doors inside the romance between Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip.
Alec and Hilaria Baldwin are gearing up for baby number 4, but could a 5th child also be in their future?
Speaking of kids, how late is too late to stop breastfeeding? We'll tell you why Nicole Curtis says she doesn't stop.
And like father, like son, we'll tell you why soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo says his 7-year-old son is ready to get into the modeling game.
Plus, Thanksgiving is fast approaching. Some of our favorite celebs are telling us what they are thankful for this year.
My husband, my best friend, and he's cute naked. Very thankful for that.
All right, here we go. Good morning, Facebook Live and People.com. Happy National Cappuccino Day. My goodness, in honor of today's holiday, we want to know, how do you like your coffee? It's our Facebook question of the day. Mine just black with a little milk, a little sugar, in case you're wondering. No, you weren't? All right, let us know your answers in the comments below. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Investigators in the mysterious abduction case involving missing California mom of 2, Sherry Papini, have released surveillance video of the young mom minutes before she was found on the side of the road early on Thanksgiving last year. In the video, you can see Papini running for help at a place of worship before turning back to head to the interstate. The black and white footage shows Papini near a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in Woodland, California at about 4:15 a.m. on November 24th, 2016. According to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, Papini is seen running toward the building before she turned around and ran toward Interstate 5, where she was found by a passing motorist at an on-ramp at 4:22 a.m. Papini had been missing for 22 days, having vanished while jogging near her home in Redding, California, about 150 miles north. She said that she'd been abducted at gunpoint and held captive for weeks by 2 armed Hispanic females who spoke Spanish the majority of the time. Eventually, she was released, she said, though it remains unclear why. No arrests have been made in that case. Investigators are hoping that the release of the surveillance video will encourage people with information to come forward. You can stay on People.com for more information on this story. Well, Justin Bieber and his former flame Selena Gomez are, quote, figuring things out, but the on-again, off-again duo seem to be fans of repeating the past. Let's review. It was 2009. Bieber serenaded the Disney starlet during a flirty performance on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. 1 year later, and the pair was spotted holding hands at a Philadelphia IHOP, claiming the pancake date was just a friendly hangout. Pancakes and bacon, you think you call that just friendly. 2011, Jelena goes public at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, matching their red ensembles to the blazing color of their hearts, I'm told. Selena tells 17 magazine, I don't like hiding. At the end of the day, I'm 18 and I'm gonna fall in love. You do you, Selena. The secret is out and they start packing on the PDA, sharing smooches at basketball games, award shows, and after parties, but paradise, it does get interrupted. November 2011, Bieber is accused of impregnating a fan. A paternity test eventually debunks the fan's claims. Sadly, the couple calls it quits 1 year later in 2012. But wait, there is more. In the words of Selena, the heart wants what it wants, and the couple is spotted just days later kissing at the airport. Flash forward to 2013 and reconciliation rumors begin to resurface, with sources confirming the pop star traveled to Oslo, Norway to be with Bieber during one of his performances. Gomez officially confirms their coupledom is back on in 2014. Twitter goes crazy and melts down, but it doesn't last long. Shortly after their split, the singer releases her hit single, The Heart Wants What It Wants. It actually comes out, admitting to David Letterman that the breakup song is about her ex, the Biebs. Gomez starts dating record producer Zedd, while Bieber is linked to a bevy of female celebrities from Kourtney Kardashian to Kendall Jenner. They were doing their own thing. Then in August of 2016, Bieber's relationship with Sophia Richie explodes on social media, leading to an epic Instagram spat between the former lovers, with Gomez writing, if you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend. She apologizes after that exchange. She also finds love with The Weeknd before breaking things off with him in October. Which brings us to present day. Is Jelena officially back on? We have the inside scoop from a source who says Justin will always have a special place in Selena's heart, but is she ready to let her rocky past back in? You've got to wait for it. First, we move on to another famous couple. Watch.
All the drama queens taking swings. All the jokers dressing up as kings, they fade to nothing when I look at him.
Taylor Swift's latest single, Call It What You Want, reveals sweet details of the pop superstar's strong relationship with beau Joe Alwyn. The friends are thinking the hunky British actor might just be the one, while neither has spoken out publicly about their whirlwind romance. The pair has been enjoying quiet dinner parties in Alwyn's hometown of England, as well as Swift's homes in Nashville and New York. An insider revealing the duo much prefers to stay in than go out, telling people, just like Taylor, Joe is a homebody. He loves being an actor but doesn't like the celebrity part of it. It's pretty special to find someone that you're on the same page with. Friends and family are also picturing a happy ending. The insider explaining, it's a great relationship that everyone hopes will last. Joe could definitely be the one. We'll have to wait and see. This week's issue of People is the thankful issue, and one person who has a lot to be thankful for these days is the one and only Elizabeth Smart. We all know Smart as the girl who was kidnapped from her bedroom in 2002 when she was just 14 years old, then physically, mentally, and sexually brutalized by her captors for 9 months before she was rescued. Now, though, the 30-year-old wife and mom is living a life of happiness and gratitude for everyday things. She's been married for 5 years to husband Matthew Gilmore, and they have 2 children together, Chloe, who is 2, and James, who is 8 months. She tells People about their family night Fridays and picnics in the park, gushing, quote, life is pretty perfect right now. But Elizabeth admits a part of her will never be free of the paranoia and the what-ifs that are magnified by her own past experience. She says, quote, I want to let Chloe explore and play, but there's a part of me that's always thinking, are the windows shut? Where is she at? Who is by her? Can I see her? I don't want to let her, Chloe out of my sight. But Elizabeth tells People that she believes it was her own suffering that taught her to live with thankfulness today. She goes on to say, quote, I'm grateful for rain because when I was kidnapped, that meant I had something to drink. I'm grateful for the sunshine because it warmed me when I was cold. That thankfulness continues in her life to this day. Elizabeth says when her kids are older, she will tell them about her story, but for now, she's working on her second book, Where There's Hope, and other projects, sending the message to struggling survivors of captivity and abuse that they're not alone, and life can be good again. Guys, we all know the ins and outs of Prince William and Princess Kate's love story, but did you know that this month marks 70 years since Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's wedding of the century? It's this week's People cover story, and later in the show, we are taking you behind palace doors for a peek inside the royal romance and rock-solid partnership that has endured for decades. Stick around for that. But first, we move on to this. Jolie Fisher is opening up in her new memoir, Growing Up Fisher, about her showbiz childhood, her family's struggles with addiction, and the pain of losing her sister, Carrie. Jolie was born to singer Connie Stevens and Eddie Fisher in 1967, making her half-sisters with Fisher's daughter, with Debbie Reynolds, Carrie Fisher. In her book, which is exclusively excerpted in this week's issue of People, Jolie describes how she looked up to her big sister, quote, swelling with pride when she saw her as Princess Leia on screen. But their relationship was much deeper than that. Jolie reveals that Carrie was often the only one to call when she needed a, quote, sympathetic sounding board. Also in the memoir, Jolie reveals more about her father, Eddie Fisher's drug use, even recalling one time that he shot up with her in the room. She says, quote, my first experience with drug use was as a toddler. I had a baby's eye view of my own father tying off, prepping a needle, and injecting drugs into his veins. I was propped up in an inappropriate proximity to my papa. Like her relatives, Jolie would grow up and occasionally turn to addictive behavior as she paved her own way in Hollywood. But the one person she could always call when she felt as if she hit rock bottom, her sister, Carrie. Jolie writes, quote, in 2004, I went on a 2-night bender. I called Carrie from New York at 3, 4 in the morning because I knew I could. Carrie, I think I'm in trouble. She was the only one I could talk to who wouldn't judge me, who knew the experience, one junkie from another. Carrie battled bipolar disorder and addiction in her own life up until the end, and when the world lost Princess Leia on December 27, 2016, Jolie lost far more, her sister and her hero. But as Jolie says in the book, quote, the only way to celebrate the people I've lost is to go on. For more from Jolie Fisher, pick up this week's issue of People and check out her book, Growing Up Fisher, when it drops on November 14th. A lot of revelations in that.
Definitely.
Really interesting to hear from her.
All right, let's check in with Facebook Live. We're asking you guys, how do you like your coffee? Moni says, I love my coffee dark like my soul and strong like my husband. That's so great.
That's the best one of those I've heard. Jeffrey says, I only drink iced coffee no matter what time of the year, and if it's available, I'll add vanilla cream. I like
Iced coffee in the winter, can't do
Hot,
it.
Just, again, it's just straight coffee. Like, it's just the grande blonde, a little milk, a little sugar. Guys, this is what you need to do. I'm trying to help. Keep the Facebook comments coming in. We'll check back with you again soon. But first, Andrea, more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, Jeremy, we have some baby news. We are starting up Star Trek with a growing family. Alec and Hilaria Baldwin are already parents to daughter Carmen and sons Rafael and Leonardo, but the happy couple will be expecting baby number 4, a boy, in the spring. Hilaria, who says the household is a lot more fun with kids, knows exactly what to expect this time around, telling people, "I knew I was pregnant when I fell over. I only fall over when I'm pregnant." The busy mom of 3, who previously vowed to never offer up sugary treats to her kids, is now easing up on her tough mama rules, explaining, "My oldest was a good eater, and I would see all these kids with lollipops. I'd say, I would never do that. But now my kids have one tiny lollipop on most days, and you know what? They're okay." When it comes to the baby's name, Hilaria has things mostly figured out. Her 3 other children all have unique and bilingual origins to their names, and baby number 4 will follow suit, Hilaria explaining, "I can promise you that Michelangelo and Donatello will not be coming out of me, but it will be a name that works in both Spanish and English, and it will probably be an artist's name." Okay, we have a few hints there. Although baby number 4 was the first planned pregnancy for the happy couple, the Baldwins are not ruling out a 5th baby just yet, saying their daughter really wants a sister. Well, we are all crossing our fingers. Big congratulations to the Baldwins. Moving on to another family, like father, like son. Cristiano Ronaldo recruited his 7-year-old son to help model the new junior collection of his CR7 clothing line, and boy, are we swooning. The soccer star, whose girlfriend is pregnant with his 4th child, says his oldest is most definitely following dad's famous footsteps, revealing he's becoming aware of fashion and looking cool. He's a complete natural and enjoyed every minute in front of the cameras. Well, we definitely love to hear that. Keep those photo shoots coming. Patton Oswalt and Meredith Salinger officially said "I do." The happy couple exchanged vows in an intimate LA ceremony on Saturday, November 4th, a little over a year after the actor's first wife unexpectedly died from an undiagnosed heart condition. Oswalt's 8-year-old daughter Alice served as flower girl at the ceremony, which included a very star-studded guest list of John Hamm, looking great, DJ Questlove, Louis C.K., and more. When asked about the celebration, Patton says it was filled with the most special moments, telling people this is a new level of joy and a new life, and I'll always strive to deserve it. Well, for more on Patton and Meredith's special day, pick up your copy of People on newsstands everywhere right now. And those are your Star Treks for today.
All right, guys, still ahead. An insider opens up about what Selena Gomez really means to Justin Bieber and a breakdown of their on-again, off-again relationship. Plus, a tragic ending averted for a woman who needed a kidney fast. A complete stranger comes to her rescue. We have the exclusive story coming up.
But first, it's time for Oh Snap!
That's Kate Middleton stepping out with her baby bump. The princess revealed on Wednesday she's now well enough to go on her son's school run, as she was suffering from severe morning sickness in the first stages of her pregnancy. Kate is expecting her 3rd child in April and wears a retro-inspired burgundy dress hiding her small baby bump. The royal princess looking chic.
And looking very happy. Well, we are just days away to revealing this year's sexiest man alive. And of course, the hunky Zac Efron is featured in the issue. The Baywatch star never disappoints with his charming looks and hot bod. You definitely get my vote, Zac. What about you, Jeremy?
I have one of those ties that he has. That's all we have in common. But other than that, he gets my vote. Fergie-licious. That's singer Fergie performing at the relaunch of The Cove. It's a luxury resort on Paradise Island. Celebrity guests included Liev Schreiber, who joined the singer on stage for the Black Eyed Peas hit I Got a Feeling. Little kiss on the hand there.
I don't know. Does that mean anything? I'm not sure. Sarah Hyland is basking in that new relationship glow. The Modern Family actress showed off her boyfriend Wells Adams' initial on a necklace and wore it loud and proud.
Yep, Wells shared his own adorable photo of the couple staring lovingly into each other's eyes. In front of a twinkly background, I can definitely see the sparks between them, or maybe it's just one of those lights. I don't know. Love seems to be in the air.
Well, this is the fierce Gigi Hadid stepping out in London. The model is seen leaving the pop-up venue for her Gigi Times Maybelline VIP party, and Gigi did a quick wardrobe change. She arrives back at her hotel after attending the Vogue December VIP launch party. She is always looking so fabulous.
Rehab addict star Nicole Curtis is opening up in this week's issue of People about her decision to continue nursing her 2.5-year-old son Harper, a controversial choice that has emerged as a point of contention in a vicious 2-year custody battle with Curtis's ex, Shane McGuire.
It's really hard for me to not be angry most days because I have a child that is still breastfeeding, still hasn't weaned, because I do believe that that's a child's choice. This has been going on since he was 6 months old, never took a bottle, and they still took him from me. I had no idea that somebody could say you're court-ordered to not feed your exclusively breastfed child. I mean, I went into shock.
Curtis and McGuire have battled it out in court for more than 2 years now, with McGuire initially accusing her of continuing to breastfeed their now toddler as a way to prevent him from getting time with his son. Curtis denies that she has ever wanted her breastfeeding to pose a problem. She's tried pumping her milk to give to Harper, but he doesn't want to take a bottle, and there have been complications about whether she can stop by during McGuire's visitation in order to feed her son. Now, after months of escalation, Curtis says she and McGuire are slowly getting to a better place, even occasionally sharing weekends together with their son, saying, quote, "It's still not perfect or even close, but it's better." And looking to the future, Curtis says that she has no plans to stop breastfeeding until Harper indicates it's time.
Every single day, I have to weather criticism about your child's too old to breastfeed, you should just wean him. I don't think my child should have to wean, excluding me from breastfeeding my child just so he can see the dad is unhealthy, and it's not right. And it keeps happening, and it's happening everywhere. And it has to stop.
Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez have been spending lots of time together, and sources say their reunion makes them both very happy. According to one of the Biebs' friends, no one ever came close to the Hands to Myself singer, despite messy breakups and public online fights throughout their on-again, off-again relationship. And although Gomez's inner circle is weary about the singer reuniting with her former bad boy, no one is that surprised. A source revealing Justin was Selena's first love. She's never been able to get over him and has always saw the best in him. Since reaching out to Selena after her kidney transplant this past summer, Justin's been putting in the work. Aside from gaining back her trust, sources say he's also working to win over her family and friends. An insider tells People, Justin now seems mature enough to realize Selena deserves the best. He will do anything to prove he can be a good boyfriend. And Selena seems to be ready to give him that chance. The insider goes on to explain how Selena has always held out hope that one day the timing and circumstances would be right, revealing, quote, Justin will always have a special place in her heart.
The morning of June 14th, 2016 started like any other day for New York City working mom of two, Alyssa Winnick, whose sons Benjamin and Ryan are now 8 and 5 years old. She remembers feeling a bit achy and run down, but wrote it off to her busy schedule at first and continued with her busy day.
And I was texting with friends all morning. I was planning a party. It was the end of the year.
Yeah,
first grade party. I was the class mom for Ben's class.
Yeah,
I was 100% going. I spoke to everyone. I coordinated the whole thing. Like, never saw this coming.
And within a few short hours, all that would change when those little morning aches turned into excruciating pain.
At 2 p.m., I got a phone call. I can't walk. I can't do anything. She's panicked.
I felt like my hands and feet were
I feel
on
like my
fire.
hands and feet are on fire.
From there, Alyssa plunged into a terrifying battle with what she would soon learn was a blood infection whose cause stumps doctors to this day. The near-fatal infection caused her body to go into septic shock, shutting down all her vital organs. It would ultimately cost her both her hands and feet and leave her in desperate need of a kidney transplant to survive. But it also led her to what she calls the most humbling and life-affirming experience, receiving the gift of a kidney from a complete stranger. And that complete stranger happened to be one of People's Own, our photo director, Katrina Nealon. Katrina had heard about Alyssa's story through a friend, and she says she, quote, couldn't stop thinking about her. I thought that she could be me. We both had 2 boys. We were around the same ages. Then just 2 months later, a reporter at People suggested Alyssa's story for the magazine, but the story was quickly put on hold because Alyssa was in kidney failure, completely depending on grueling 5-day-a-week dialysis treatments that caused extreme fatigue, debilitating headaches, and constant nausea. Her only hope for long-term survival was a kidney transplant, and Katrina wanted to help. She says, quote, it felt like the right thing to do. My husband was very supportive, but he asked me, why you? And I said, well, why not me? The transplant worked, and Alyssa has since been fitted with state-of-the-art prosthetics for both arms and legs and gradually learned to eat, walk, and navigate the whole world again. Now it's all about living in the moment and being able to appreciate her new lease on life. For Katrina, the transplant has changed the way she looks at life, too.
I keep telling people when they say, oh, you did this amazing thing for somebody else, it was kind of a gift to me as well, because I've always been healthy and my family are mostly healthy. It made me really grateful for my own health and for my family's health, and it gave me a window on suffering, not just in Alyssa's particular case, but also when I was going to get tested at the kidney transplant center, I saw a lot of people on dialysis, and you're living on life support, and it's really difficult, and it gave me such an appreciation for, what I take for granted every day.
According to the National Kidney Foundation, 13 people die each day waiting for a life-saving kidney transplant. If you want more info on how you can become a living donor, go to kidney.org.
Thousands of happy subjects surged past a line of bodies to get a closer look at the newlyweds as they made an official appearance on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. Elizabeth and Philip waved their thanks to the happy cheers from below.
This week's People cover story honors Queen Elizabeth and husband Prince Philip as they gear up to celebrate their 70th wedding anniversary on November 20th. 70 years. 7 decades later, the couple's partnership remains as strong as ever. Now, sure, the two might be slowing down and relinquishing many of their long-held duties. Prince Philip, for example, who is 96, announced his retirement from public duties in May, while 91-year-old Queen Elizabeth will not be laying the wreath for Britain's fallen soldiers on November 12th's Remembrance Sunday for the first time in 18 years, allowing her son and heir, Prince Charles, to do the job instead. But a former household staffer tells People, quote, they are just finding their own pace. I think they deserve that. They are in their 90s, people. And as for making their milestone anniversary, they will likely enjoy a quiet family celebration. The former staffer goes on to say, quote, she doesn't want to be showy. They just want to be private about it. The couple's wedding on November 20th, 1947 was the first grand public event in Britain since the end of World War II. Then Princess Elizabeth was just 21 years old at the time, and as the couple recited their vows, 200 million people around the world listened in. This marked the first time the wedding of an heir to the throne was ever broadcast on radio. In 1952, the newlyweds had just welcomed son Charles and daughter Anne when Elizabeth's father, King George VI, died, thrusting his daughter into the role she would occupy for the rest of her long life, Queen. Philip, meanwhile, had to learn how to occupy a public place a few steps behind his wife. He was especially pained when his wife decided that their 4 children, Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward, would bear her family name, Windsor, rather than Philip's. But insiders say that overall, Philip's bold confidence has long balanced his wife's more reserved personality, and that balance has been the key to their long, successful union. And according to historian Robert Lacey, who serves as a consultant on Netflix's hit The Crown, while Queen Elizabeth might wear the crown, it is actually Philip who rules the roost. According to Lacey, quote, within the marriage, he was in charge of virtually everything to do with the children, the household, how the royal estates are run. He stamped his authority on the whole family. The couple had to support one another a number of times during the darkest days of their marriage, weathering the divorces of 3 of their 4 children, Windsor Castle's 1992 fire, and Princess Diana's death in 1997. They did that all together. Now today, both the Queen and Philip are enjoying their expanding family, including Prince William and Princess Kate's 3rd child due in April, while also preparing for their inevitable parting. According to a former staffer, quote, they are both deeply religious people and it won't take them by surprise. But for now, they are right by each other's side.
With Thanksgiving fast approaching, some of our favorite celebrities, including Matthew McConaughey, Sterling K. Brown, and Idris Elba, sat down to tell us why they are thankful this year. Take a look.
Look, the person that I've been the most thankful for the things that I'm getting to do is my wife, who just doesn't make, I don't have to look in the rearview mirror every day at work. She's like, go, I got this.
My children, they are my 3rd and 4th, 5th appendage. You know, they're part of me, and they are the reason I'd get up and do it.
My husband, my best friend, and he's cute naked. Very thankful for that.
This is Andrew Jason Sterling Brown, so I'm very thankful to him because he allowed me to become a dad.
I'm just so incredibly thankful to have some free time for the first time in 15 years.
My high school theater professor, Ed Trafton, who took all of us and treated us like adults and treated us like artists.
The love and support from my family.
To have a
wonderful family that's healthy, and to have new Big and Rich music coming out.
I'm thankful because I am working on a show that I love in a city that I love. I really like Atlanta, so I'm thankful to be working, and I'm thankful to be happy where I'm living.
But I would say freedom has got to be number one, because without freedom, we don't get to have anything else great in this country.
I am thankful for my beautiful wife, my friends, my family, and just having those wonderful people in my life that keep me going.
Here we go.
All right, let's check in with Facebook Live one last time. In honor of National Cappuccino Day, we're asking you guys, how do you like your coffee? Nicole says coffee with French vanilla till it shows up on top when pouring. So that must be
Oh. Nikki says coffee, double, Canadian here. Double means 2 sugar and 2 milk or cream. Oh, good to know. I didn't know it was different.
Didn't know? Yep. Tara says cream and honey. Oh, honey in your coffee.
I like it in the tea, but not the...
Yeah.
Casey says, I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. Well, Casey, stay away, because once you do, you will not stop.
Ever. That's crazy. I don't know how people function without coffee.
And what's the new trend with the butter?
Oh, you put, butter, because you put fat in your coffee.
The whole thing. I've never done it. I don't want to do that. But lots of people are doing it.
Yeah, because then you're tricking your body to burn off the fat and the butter first before anything else.
This health and fitness update brought to you by People Now, Andrea Boehlke and Jeremy Parsons. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Coming up tomorrow, the brothers of boy band Why Don't We are answering your burning questions with a couple of furry friends. Brothers as bandmates, anyway. Plus, singer-songwriter and reality star Tamar Braxton opens up about her marriage and what's to come on the new season of WeTV's Tamar and Vince.
Yes, very excited for that. Well, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from musician and new dad, Andy Grammer. Have a great day.
Enjoy your coffee.
Hey, I'm Andy Grammer, and this is One Last Thing. The last song that was stuck in my head, this is pretty douchey, but it was mine because I'm listening to mixes all the time now for my new album, and it's my new song, Smoke Clears. When the smoke clears. The last time I laughed so hard I cried. So I Postmates in LA a coffee, and then I Postmates a cake pop that's from Starbucks. And this poor guy had to call me back and say that it didn't have the type of cake pop that I wanted, and it was like a whole interaction that took a really long time. And then when I hung up, the guy that I was writing a song with thought it was so ridiculous that we just had like a 5-minute conversation about a cake pop, and it made us get stupid giddy. Yeah. Last TV show I binge watched, nothing exciting here, just Game of Thrones. It's so good, oh my God.